Hello, hello. Happy Easter, everybody. This is Cindy from Ideas Times 2, and I am going to do a very short tutorial today. Something very quick and easy if you need a small gift, something to tuck in a card for a birthday or Mother's Day, or an unexpected little Easter gift that you need. This is a perfect little craft because you don't need a lot of time, and you probably have the supplies in your home. You can use scraps for this and not have to run to the store for anything special. So what I have here are two little accordion journals. You can see they're pretty small, and just have a ribbon closure. When you open them up, there are just 10 pages, 4 on the back side, 6 on the front, and it all folds together. Something very simple and easy to tuck into an envelope, pop in the mail, not very expensive to send, and if you're putting together a gift basket or an Easter basket and you just need one little thing, this is perfect. So here's one. This other one is almost the same. I did the front and back on this one the same. This one, you can see, has multiple layers on the front and then just 2 layers on the back. This one I did the front and back the same. So this is what we're going to do. So let me move these off to the side, and what you're going to need for each journal, at least for this size, are 2 pieces of heavy-duty cardboard or chipboard, or whatever you happen to have. A mailing box, doesn't matter. This book is 4.5 inches square, and you really can do any size for this as long as it's square. And so this one is 4.5 inches, and you'll need 2 pieces, one for the front and one for the back. So 2 pieces, a 4.5 by 4.5. You will also need some paper to go on the inside, and this is 4.25 inches tall, and then 25.5 inches long. And if you have to piece, very simple to do. I just happen to have some big pieces of pretty heavy-duty paper. It's not cardstock. It's not as heavy as cardstock, but it's definitely pretty heavy. So this was just one piece that measures 4.25 inches tall and then 25.5 inches long. Then you will need some papers to cover up that cardboard, and you'll want, for this one that I'm going to make now, I'm going to just put a solid color on the inside of the covers, and then I've got some miscellaneous pieces of coordinating papers to go on the outside. So you're going to need 4 pieces of 4.5 by 4.5 inch squares, 2 pieces for the outside of the cover and 2 pieces for the inside. So you can use the same papers, you can coordinate, put something plain on the inside, it doesn't matter. As long as you're happy with it, you like your papers, that's all you need. So you need 4 pieces that are 4.5 inch square. And then for your decorating, you're going to want to decrease the size of your squares. You still want them to be square, but you're going to decrease the size. And so my next layer was 4 inches, and so that leaves me a 1/4 inch margin all the way around. The next one on the inside is 3.5 a 3.5 inch square, and then in the middle it's a 2 inch square. And so you can see on the back, 4.5 inches, 4 inches, 3.5 inches, and then 2 inches. But you don't have to, follow exactly the way I did it. On this one, I did it a little differently. So I have my 4.5 inch square, and then a 4 inch square, a 3.5 inch square, and then 3.25 inch square, and then just my little plate here on the top that's about 1 inch by 3/4 of an inch by 2 inches, I think. And so it's really up to you. Whatever is aesthetically pleasing to you is the way you're going to want to do it. But those were my basic measurements. 4.5 inches square, 4 inches, 3.5 inches, 2 inches. So the construction of this is super simple. For your paper, for the inside, like I said, it needs to be 4 1/4 inches tall and 25.5 inches long, and then you're going to want to score and fold to make 4.5 or 4.25 inch squares. And so with the measurements that I gave you, that gives you basically the 3 mountains and 6 squares, right? So if you want it to be bigger, go ahead and make it bigger. Just remember that you need to make sure that the inside squares for this size are all 4.25 inches. So if you want to increase it, add another 2. I would do it in stay in even numbers to make sure that your folds are even. You'll want to add 8.5 inches, and that would give you 2 more squares, and on like that. I'm an English teacher. I don't love the math, but you got to do the math to make sure that everything fits perfectly together. So very, very simple construction. So I'm going to use Fabri-Tac. I'm almost out of Fabri-Tac, so I just have what's left in this little bottle. But it's Sunday, I can't run to Hobby Lobby, and it's Easter, so I generally don't go shopping on holidays because I think people should be home with their families. And I don't have a family here in Virginia with me, so I'm by myself today. So I went to the early service for church, and now I'm home and doing the laundry, making my video. I'm going to do some crafting today because I have to go back to work tomorrow. I've been on vacation all week, and it's my last day, so I'm going to try to get my chores done and get myself ready for the work week. Alright, so what you're going to do is just glue on one of the 4.5 inch squares to the outside, flip it over, and put another one on the inside. I have got to get more glue. I have my glue sticks and things like that, but I really like, just for ease of use, I really like Fabri-Tac. You want to make sure you get right to the edge as much as possible. Keep that upside down this time. On the inside, you're going to want to put whatever paper you chose. I decided to go with just plain blue. And so there's the outside, inside. Do the same thing with the other pieces, which you probably don't need to see. You know, if you've been making journals for a while, this is kind of an easy little craft. If you're new to journaling, this gives you another option. I'm going with a 4.5 inch size, but you can make this bigger, you can make it smaller. You just want to make sure that you keep it square. So there's my back, or well, the front of the back, the outside of the back. I'm going to put another piece of just solid blue. For the inside of the cover. It doesn't much matter because you're only going to just see a little bit of an edge. All right. Now for this one, I was kind of thinking of quilt squares. I don't know if you can see, this paper has a definitely two-sided. It's much darker on one side than the other, and I like the darker side. So I'm going to put the dark on the outside. It's kind of textured too. I like texture. And so I'll line that up. Make sure you have leave about a quarter of an inch border. And since I was thinking quilt squares for this one, instead of making all of these square, I'm going to put this one at an angle. And then I have just another little tiny square to go on the inside. So there's my cover, and then I decided to do the full back on this one, or it doesn't matter if it's front or back. I'm going to do them the same on this one. Well, I hope everybody's having a good day. The weather here is a little chilly, but absolutely beautiful. We had nasty weather earlier this weekend. We had some very heavy rains on Friday night. Thunderstorms, a lot of people without power in the area. I live in a good neighborhood for electricity. My house is not too far from the old hospital, not too far from the new hospital, and whatever my power grid, I'm on the same power grid as the hospital. So if the power goes out, it is, my neighborhood always gets back up and running pretty fast. My power did go out for about 3 seconds, came back on, then went back out for about 3 seconds. Again, just enough to screw up the clock on the stove and my cable. All right, so there you go. Simple, right? You're like, I don't like being able to see that cardboard. Very simple. What I do is get out my handy dandy ink and my dauber, and I go over the edge with a coordinating ink, cover that up, or if you want to age your papers and distress it up a little bit, use brown or gray. I'm going with blue, so it will kind of make those edges just disappear. And I'll do it on both the front and the back. Make sure I didn't miss any spots. My ink is starting to kind of run out here. But there we go. Obviously need new dauber, that one's falling apart. So now what you're going to do is decide on a closure, and I'm going to go with just another ribbon since I happen to have this out. And you need about 24 inches of a ribbon if you're going to use a ribbon closure. My scissors. Let me double check my measurements there. And then you are going to make sure that it's even, and you're going to glue it down to the inside of your back cover. And I generally, excuse me a second, gotta reach the tape. Tape it down because it slides around a little bit otherwise. And then you are going to affix your inside to the back cover. And once again, I'm just going to use Fabri-Tac, and we'll cover up that tape and the ribbon. Oops. So I've got a little on the edge there. And just want to make sure that it is evenly put on the back, and that it is all straight and even, fixed really well, and you've got your closure there. Then you're going to glue the front, and I always glue the papers to make sure I don't accidentally get glue on too close to the edge and have to try to clean it off, or have it smudge up my edges. And then just pop that right on, and that's literally it. Just tie the ribbon up. If you're going for a more rustic look, you can use baker's twine or jute, or if you're going to want to keep it in your bag as a little brag book, and put pictures in there of your kids or your grandkids, you might want to put just an elastic band, or a hairband or something around it, and that would be perfect too. But it's really as simple as that. You can make it as big as you want. You can make it smaller as long as you keep it square. On the inside, I just left the pages in this one blank, but in this one that I showed you earlier, I have just a little bit of rubber stamping in here, just a little bit on each page for some visual interest, and I used blue ink to keep my my color palette simple, keep it all blue and yellow and white. And it's really that simple. I'm going to show you just quickly another way to do your cover. So if you would like to do this differently, you can wrap your cover, and so what you need then is 2 pieces of 6x6 paper, decorator paper, and it's not cardstock. It's much flimsier than that, and I prefer the lighter weight paper to wrap. And so I could get out my scoreboard, but I'm not going to because even though I can reach it from where I'm sitting, it's loud and noisy. So, and you really don't need it. So what I do is just, I'm going to do it this way, fold all my edges down, basically scoring my paper without the scoreboard, and open that back up and fold all four sides. So you get something like that, and then cut the corners. You don't want to have, bulk in your corners, and you just follow the score marks to cut those out. So then it'll look like that. Then, let me get my scraps out of the way here. Then you're going to want to fold the corners down like this, all the way around, all 8 corners. I'm not going to do all of them, you don't need to see that. And then trim them off. Or if you're really good eyeballing things, go ahead and just eyeball and cut. But you want to make sure that your corners are wide open like that. I'm going to move that out of the way, and my scraps again. And you'll have something like this. Then you can take your glue and your chipboard or your heavy cardboard and just glue them down. And me and my slow glue today. I have gone through so much glue in this past week. And that's what happens. Give me a week of vacation and projects, and I made a ton of ephemera this week. I'm going to do all 4 corners here. This little journal is going to be a little beachy theme. And one last corner, one last side here. And fold it down, and then I have 4 mitered corners. My bone folder to make sure everything is nice and flat and everything's glued down really well. And so you can see it's got nice mitered corners, and the edges are covered so you don't have to worry about inking it. And then when you are ready to put everything together, then you don't need to worry about having paper on the inside because you have already covered up your cardboard, and there you go. Another very simple way to do your corners and cover up your cover front and back cover, and so I think you get good results either way. So it's up to you which way you want to do it. Try some of each, and that's it. Simple craft for this beautiful Sunday. Have a very blessed day. Happy Easter, and if you have not already done so, please subscribe, and if you like this craft, give me a thumbs up, write a positive comment down below, and my sister and I are doing a giveaway for subscribers to our channel. And I'm going to be drawing this afternoon. So if you've not already entered, what you need to do is go to last Sunday's video and this little journal is part of the giveaway. Go back to that video, watch it, give it a thumbs up, make sure you're subscribed, leave a positive comment, and then I will put your name in for the drawing. And I will be drawing in a few hours, about 4 o'clock this afternoon. So check out our blog, ideastimes2.com, check out our Etsy store, and thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I hope you liked this little project, and have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.